Hey everybody, welcome to Badass Mining Company. I'm Sean, and this is I'm not prepared.
You're not prepared. I'm not prepared. That's what my name is. Not prepared.
Well, no.
Hi,
Uh
everyone.
this is technical difficulties because she was nothing but technical difficulties before the show started. Everything that possibly could go
It was.
wrong was weird.
He tried to get a hold of me for about an hour, and my phone was not ringing.
Well,
And
hold on, hold
somebody
on.
else tried to get a hold of me, and my phone was.
Okay, here is the weirdness of that. Normally her and I talk like what you see her now through Messenger on video chat. But after 5 times of not being able to get a hold of her, I called her on her phone a half dozen times and it didn't go through, even though it was ringing on my end. Didn't just go to voicemail. So I tried to call Kian, our son, and it didn't go through until the second time, and he answered and then went up and talked to his mom. And then, wouldn't you know it, mysteriously, the phone started working again. And we were able to immediately hook up via video chat. Immediately! Isn't that a lovely coincidence? Google, Facebook. That's coincidence. It's a coincidence.
It's a dinkle.
Coinkadink. So, how are you, technical difficulties?
Problematic, I guess.
No, I'm
I'm
problematic.
doing fine. We just
You
got
can't
back.
be problematic. I'm
No.
problematic.
Well, we just got back from Costco and then hitting a couple of stores because Kian is putting together um, Guitar Hero guitars and reselling them.
Ooh, that sounds like
Yeah.
a pretty good
So
business.
he'll be putting them on, as soon as they're done, he'll be putting them on eBay to sell them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is he gonna
So,
do custom ones?
but anyway. Yeah, what he does is he buys all the ones at the stores and then he redoes them and they look like guitars.
Well, that's pretty convenient for Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero.
Okay, well,
So,
we have had a
but
very, very, very interesting week in precious metal markets. People are scared right now. They they're really kind of worried about their investments. So what they're doing is they're taking out all their money out of stocks and putting it into precious metals. Um, this is a good thing for miners in a way, but it can catch up to you and bite you in the butt because when precious metals go through the roof, whatever the currency is that it's traded in is tanking out because it can't hold up against how strong gold is. And it's just a weird kind of a situation, but the forecasters right now are kind of scrambling because they're saying the dollar was very successful in keeping up with the rise of the gold price. However, it's not going to be for too much longer. It's going to be able to keep up. So, what what this means is that the value of the dollar is going to go down, which means prices are going to go up. This is how it bites miners in the butt, because even though they're able to sell their gold for a higher price, they're paying more for goods and services because the higher price of the gold is actually doing weird things to their currency. So, yeah, it's a good, bad thing. Uh, and what's causing it is this little virus thing that's going around that nobody wants to seem to talk about because it seems to be a major issue when you say the words uh, coronavirus. Don't say those words on these
Yeah.
platforms.
No, not saying it. Not saying it.
So anyway, we're just gonna hope for the best, and there's yeah, there's a lot of numbers coming out that say that it's not slowing down. So we'll see. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to the actual gold prices and precious metal prices here. We're going to start off with gold, which is $1,600.44 an ounce. That's 1644. It didn't just take little jumps up. The last jump that it took before the market closed was over $28 an ounce. So it went up pretty good. Silver is just out of the park at 18.55 an ounce right now. That's $18.55 an ounce. And it seems to be rallying as well. And of course, the metal of whose name I refuse to speak, which is
Platinum.
what was that again?
Platinum.
Platinum. I said it. Oh my
You
god.
said it. Oh my gosh, you said it.
I
Oh my
said the
gosh.
P
Oh
word.
my gosh. Okay.
Arg. Is at
Yours
978.
now.
978. Yep, I am. It's true. 978 an ounce is what the P word is, and that is our precious metal prices. Yay! So, we have a segment now that we call Same Day, Different Year, to where we go off and each one of us has 5 different dates that have happened on this day throughout history. So, before we start the show, we just read off the date, the year to each other to double check to see if we're cross referenced. And we didn't even hit one. We didn't have even one double up today. It was amazing. I even came up with an extra date just because I knew that she was going to come up with something, and it just didn't happen.
Just in case.
And so we always have a way to start this, and that is ladies first. So go, do it.
Sweet. Okay, so here's my first date, and it was kind of confusing to me, but I'll have to do some more checking on it. But in 1630, American Indians, that's us, introduced the Pilgrims to popcorn at Thanksgiving. So when did Thanksgiving become February 22nd?
Well, when did Jesus' birthday become December 25th? The world is full of questions.
Yeah. So that was one of the oddities I was looking at going, Thanksgiving? Really? So anyway.
Yeah, I've mentioned this.
Thanks to Mike. Go ahead.
I've often wondered this, and I'm going to turn this light on because it is kind of dark. What exactly? I mean, there's a lot of these subjects that we come up with that they've attached a specific day to. It makes no sense. I mean, you're talking about, ideas and concepts and things, and oh, this was introduced to, Billy Bob on blah, 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 blah date. Well, okay, it was so important to you at the time that Billy Bob tastes popcorn that you wrote down the date. I have a really tough time believing this, that anybody would be recording this stuff in such great detail. I know nobody ever wrote down the first time that I had calamari, and I guarantee I wouldn't be able to tell you what date that was. I could pull one out of my butt. It had to have been
Well,
March 3rd, 1969. That had to have been the date that I first had calamari introduced to my delicate palate when I was 2. Or,
his delicate palate. Oh my gosh. Hey, so talking about calamari, just to go on to it. So when Kian was small, and we used to take him to this one restaurant, and we introduced him to calamari. So anytime we went somewhere, he would calamari.
yep, yep, he always wanted calamari, but so did we.
And
So
most of the time we were telling
really wasn't a big deal because we always had it.
calamari.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead
We
and
actually
kick mine off with 1819. Spain sells Florida to the United States of America.
I saw that one.
Yeah, that's
I did.
that's one of those it's one of those real questionable decisions that the United States made. Considering that every time you see Florida in the news, it's something weird. Just out and out, just
Storms.
flippin' weird. So we do love you, Florida.
Okay.
You're a part of the family too. You may be that eccentric cousin like Cousin Eddie in the vacation movies, but you're still family. We love you.
Okay. So you ready for this? This is another geography one.
Ooh, I like geography.
In 1825, Russia and Britain established Alaska and Canada's borders. The
Yeah,
boundary line.
yeah. Weird,
So the
weird.
reason why.
You want to talk about a
So
controversial subject that I do not have apparently the right opinion about, because every time I bring it up, it causes a little bit of controversy. And that is how somehow we were able to acquire the entire west coast of Canada. I, it's the weirdest
well, now
thing.
you know.
It's
Well, now you know.
I
It was
I
Russia and Britain's fault.
I knew before. I really did know before. It's just never made any
Okay.
sense to me because yeah, Canada likes to fish, but they can't exactly do it off the west coast anymore because we own it.
They do.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
like
your turn.
that's like having a you have a house, nice house, and the neighbor decides that he's gonna up and move, and he sells the new people the house, but sells you the pool. Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird. It's just weird. Okay, my
Okay.
next one is 1878. The very first Woolworth store opens in I'm sorry, I don't have my reading glasses, so somewhere in New York. It was in New York,
Yeah,
definitely. I can't
and
read
did
my
you also
writing.
know that it made terribly?
Well, it was the
It was
first
called
of
the Five and
five.
Dime.
Yeah, it was the first of the five and dime stores. But what happened is to be able to make it successful, which this has actually become a great model for corporations, is do not rely on the success of the first store. Put in at least 3 to 5 stores and then get it in the public eye before you decide to, make any final decisions on your which way your business is going to go. And it worked out great for them because they put in 5 stores and it went just through the roof. But after that first one opened, they didn't know
Well,
if it was going to work or not. But it
yeah,
did. It did open up.
I can
It opened up the avenue for stores like Walmart and Safeway and
Ben Frank.
yeah, it's a lot of the other stores that have gone that way. Even Dollar General, Dollar Tree. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so in 1854, oh, you'll love this one. The first meeting of the Republican Party took place.
Yep, I saw that one.
I was surprised you didn't take it.
Well, see, here's without opening any cans of worms right now because I'm in the middle of a video series on another channel. Um, I am respectfully stepping away from any type of
Making
party
a comment.
party banter or trying to promote party systems or anything like that. Um,
I'm not promoting it, you guys. I just saw it on there and
yeah,
thought, he probably isn't going to touch this one.
to each their own. If you guys want to play that game, that's cool. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a game that I am not good at and I don't understand well enough to play. So therefore, I am bowing out of that game and I'm not playing it anymore. What I am going to
Okay,
do, however, is I am going to expose a lot of the fine points of that game so that you understand why I refuse to play it anymore. So, if you're curious about that,
okay,
just ask. But I'm not going to promote the other channel on this because it has nothing to do with mining at all. And even though I've crossed that line several times in the past, I'm not doing it anymore. And I believe that I have just a fine platform to bounce those thoughts and those ideas off of. So that is the reasoning behind my not choosing any type of party
comment.
points or anything anymore on this channel. So,
Okay,
um,
your turn.
yay.
Your turn.
Okay, now that I've chased everybody away, um, next one is 1959. Lee Petty wins the very first Daytona 500 race. That's
I was
pretty
4 years
cool.
old.
She was 4, and she came in second.
I was 4. Okay, so in 1935, Little Colonel premieres. That's with Shirley Temple, Lionel Barrymore, and Bill Robinson. And the other cool thing about this was the first interracial dance between a
White and
white person
black.
and a black person, which
Yep.
is because Shirley Temple Black is one of the most outstanding women there could possibly be,
Absolutely.
and she was an absolute darling as a child. and she as she grew up, she became very political, but she was really into the humanity of people. But keep in mind, I had to put this in there. Little Colonel Premier's the Shirley Temple, Lionel Barrymore. Keep that last name in your head because I'm going to mention it again tonight. And Bill Robinson. So Barrymore is very important to remember. Okay, your turn.
Absolutely. And I remember when that movie opened, I stayed in line for like 4 hours for tickets.
Oh, it was a great movie.
It was. I really
Okay, your
enjoyed
turn.
that movie. Okay, so my next one is 1980, and this is actually the one that I thought she was going to snag because it was kind of the most obvious one on the list. But I lucked out, and I got to keep this date. She didn't get it, and it's all
Okay,
mine. All mine!
okay.
Okay, so
What is it?
I don't know. I can't read it. I don't have my glasses. Okay, no, I'm kidding. I can read it. I just am not very good at writing, so uh 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 1980 Miracle on Ice in Lake Placid, New York. The US beats the USSR hockey team and it was 4-5. Miracle on
Because
Ice.
I like hockey.
Hockey.
I do. I like hockey. Yeah.
Hockey.
Okay, so we ready for the last one?
We are ready for your last one.
In 1997, and this is not too long ago, the Scottish scientists from Roslin Institute in Edinburgh announced that they successfully cloned an adult sheep named Dolly.
Dolly.
And she was the very first
Hello,
cloned animal.
Dolly. I know, that was so bad.
Okay, so what's your last one?
Okay, my last one. In 1994, U.S. citizen Aldrich Ames and his wife are charged with spying. They were Russian
Oh,
spies. They were charged by the Department of Justice. Ooh. I remember that one.
bad.
That actually was made into a lot of made for TV movies and such. I can't think of any of the names of any of them right offhand, but it was really big news back then. It was it was so stereotypical of a spy novel. It was almost ridiculous watching it on the news at night. It was like stuff left in garbage bags alongside of the road and stuff. Very spy stuff. So, anyway, yep, that was 1994. And that is the end of Same Day, Different Year. So, Tan now has some birth dates and holidays.
I have a birthday. That's a very important one. Remember, I told you to not forget Barrymore? Drew
Who?
Barrymore's birthday is today. She's 45 years old, and yes, she is related to Lionel Barrymore.
Holy crap. It was just like yesterday when she was flashing David Letterman on her 18th birthday.
or she was in, what was it, E.T.?
Ooh, E.T. phone her. Ooh.
Okay, so I have our holidays, okay? So the very first holiday is National Margarita Day.
Ooh, E.T. like margaritas.
And, and okay, also National Be Humble Day.
It is very humble.
And this one, Sean will hate this one. Today is National Cook a Sweet Potato Day.
E.T. hates sweet potatoes.
E.T.
hates sweet potatoes. E.T. phone home.
And today is National Walk a Dog Day.
Ooh, E.T. doesn't like dogs.
Okay, so this is the last one. Today is National World Sword Swallowing Day. I know, weird, huh? You went quiet. Are you swallowing a sword?
No. No, I am not. I am not swallowing a sword. I am really, really confused. I know I say this almost every time we come on and read the holidays, but who the hell comes up with this stuff? Sword Swallowing Day. All three of them got together and said, we need to make this a national holiday.
I think we should come up with a day for a national badass mining.
Oh, so that we can become as frivolous as things like sword swallowing and slap day.
Slap day, yeah, I know. Slap your partner today. Get rid of your significant
other. Get rid of your jerk of a significant other day. Yeah, that was a good day.
That was the day after Valentine's. So if he didn't buy her flowers, he didn't buy her candy, he's screwed. The next day he gets ousted.
Yep.
But,
well, you know,
okay,
I did have.
I have something to say about that. Okay.
Okay.
Ladies,
hold on. This. Hold on.
Okay.
This commentary does not reflect the opinions of the station or its broadcasters. Go ahead.
He may agree now. Okay, ladies, you can treat them just as much as they treat you on Valentine's Day. So just remember that. Sean will attest that he was treated very, very well when he came here on Valentine's Day, because it was all about showing Sean love.
Aww.
And
aww. I'm choked up.
He got taken to dinner. He got his YouTube up paid for, so he doesn't have commercials.
That was flippin' awesome right there. I'm telling you.
Yeah. And then he got taken to the pot shop. And we won't go into the other stuff.
No. But, you know, here's the thing that I gotta say, okay? I was not expecting to be shown so much love on Slap Day. So, I was not ready for Slap Day. But Tan stepped up and apparently she showed me the true meaning of Slap Day. So, next February 15th.
He wasn't a jerk.
Yeah. So, next February 15th, show your significant other how important they are on Slap Day.
Yeah.
It's very
or the day that
important.
you're supposed to get rid of them.
You know, if the situation calls for it, then yes, please do celebrate. Get rid of your jerk of a significant other day.
Yeah.
Celebrate the hell out of it. You have my permission. So,
Yes, but if you have a significant other that is very special, then you need to show them. So ladies, don't forget, he may show you all the love in the world. You got to do the same thing to him.
yeah,
Okay, so you had some topics you wanted to talk about.
I do. See, well, here's kind of the here's kind of the okay. We had talked about doing some panning, and unfortunately, by the time the show starts, it is already dark. So I have the panning station all set up to pan, but no adequate light. And so, therefore, it's not going to happen tonight. But I'm going to figure it out for tomorrow, hopefully. And we'll do a little panning then.
Yeah, I'm gonna, and I've got to go down and go get a smaller pan so I can do it in the sink, and I got to get containers to fit inside my sink.
Yeah.
So
So anyway, because I left her there was some pay dirt that I've had for, I don't know, probably 10 years. And so she's going to pan that out. And I've got some pay dirt here that I'm going to pan out. And hopefully I'll do mine tomorrow. I've already got it set up, so I might as well figure it out. Hopefully Tan will have hers done by, I don't know, what year is it now? 2020. Hopefully she'll have hers figured out by maybe 2025 or so.
yeah, and you guys have to understand, I'm an amateur. I'm not professional like Sean is. So you may hear some colorful metaphors fly out of my mouth.
No, you're not going to be hearing any colorful metaphors at all coming out of her mouth on this channel.
I'll try not to. I promise I'll try. So tell us about what you wanted to talk about.
Okay, so there was some weirdness back in the day when it came to the gold rushes, and this had to do with uh, charlatans and scammeries and, outright thieves and people that were trying to take advantage of these poor people that didn't know anything about gold. In fact, there's a couple of just great stories that you just have to scratch your head and roll your eyes at because these people were sitting on like 10-pound nuggets for decades and had no idea what it was. Okay,
Yeah.
any of us that sees gold is going to go, huh, I might want to go get that checked out. So, yeah, there's a lot of people that have throughout history been very naive when it comes to looking for gold and finding gold, and so these other people have taken it upon themselves to come up with products and concepts and ideas about surefire ways to get gold. And they're some of the silliest things I have ever seen in my life. I've talked about them on previous videos, some of them. This salve that you rub all over your body, and it's really super sticky. And then what you do is you roll on the uh, stream bed, the body in the water, you roll and it gathers rocks and pebbles to you, and then you just go and scrape the gold off of you. And it was like, okay, that would have been so funny to watch. Oh my God, I can't even begin to tell you how much I would pay to see that. To see somebody really think that they were going to get gold by covering themselves in honey. I mean, it's kind of a weird concept, but the guy that sold the stuff made a lot of money. And then there was the guy that sold the big long rakes. They were like 15-foot long rakes. And they were for raking the bottom of the stream out in the, deep parts to where you couldn't get to the gold. So you're going to rake the gold to you. Now, this may sound good in theory. However, anybody who has ever gone for deep water, anytime you disturb that sediment at all, that gold drops down like it's gold. And you can't rake it up. If you try to rake it up, what you're doing is you're actually separating it and causing even more of the stratus separation from the density of the matter, where gold is going to drop straight to the bottom because it's denser than water and it outweighs everything else in the stream. So if you try to rake it, it's going to be right down underneath those tines of your rake and not coming in. So, yeah, a lot of rakes sold. So, yay. That's why the Canadians are so good at yard work now.
There were a lot of Canadians there. A lot.
Yeah. Some of the other wonderful products. There was an elixir. If you drank it, apparently what would happen to you is you would become entranced and you would be able to walk straight to where the gold was.
Oh my God. What kind of elixir was it?
All I can say is
Okay.
morphine is a hell of a drug, and no, it does not lead you to the gold. It might lead you away from your gold long enough for the person that sold you the morphine can take it, but yeah, it's not gonna lead you to the gold.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And there was actually a couple of stories that were attached to that one. I'm not sure how true they were, but they sure sound like something that could happen if you're maybe under the influence. Um, Thinking that uh, hallucinations are going to lead you to the gold, like maybe the hallucinated grizzly that you came wandering upon was going to lead you to the gold, and come to find out he was just looking for dinner. Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, that sounds really
Um, yeah, there's some other ones. Dowsing rods were probably one of the more popular things that were sold to find gold. Now,
Yeah, but I've seen a lot of people use dowsing rods and be very successful.
and see, that's where you've really got to kind of understand that most of those people that are using dowsing rods understand the concept of where gold is going to be. And so I find it very suspicious at best that because when I see people using dowsing rods, okay, and this is where they kind of tell on themselves because I see them using them on video. Okay, to where you can actually back it up and look at those really super fine motor movements that they're doing to make a move. And then they're sitting there at the same time going, I swear to God, I'm not doing anything to make a move. You're on video, we can see it. So, I think that there's a lot of things in the subconscious that will manifest in an outward way, and dowsing rods may be one of those things, but everything that I've seen kind of points to them being more of a glitch. Um, yeah, I, I I can honestly say that I've never seen them actually work on their own. If they work the way that they say they do, then you should theoretically be able to put them in holders that are stationary and watch them move. And for some reason that worked. So I'm not
Well, you
saying
know
I'm
what?
right. I'm not
Then
saying I'm wrong.
I'm
I'm
going
just
to
saying that's my
I'm going to
observation.
get a set. I'm going to get a set
And you're going to prove
just
me wrong.
because I no, because I want to know how they work. Because there are two people that I know that are pretty in tune to the earth, you and me. Okay? And
Okay.
I think that the best way to take this on is to go get dowsing rods and we walk the earth and see how it works.
Well,
I know that there's a lot of people in England that use the dowsing rods to find ley lines, and that's pretty interesting.
okay.
But
And see, this is
I
where
would
I'll
I
I'm
would just like to.
I'll throw in a okay. That sounds like a very good, solid experiment. However, I would want to also see a trimeter there that measures microwave, electromagnetic, and uh, magnetic. Uh-oh, you just fell down. I had a
I mean,
feeling that was going to happen. So anyway, yeah, if we were to do something like that, I would want to definitely do it the right way and have all the measurements there to where we could see where the differences were, because I do not believe at all that anything like dowsing rods or anything like that have any non scientific basis to go off of. There has to be a scientific reason if they work for them to be working. So if it has to do with electromagnetic influence, then there has to be some sort of a measurable electromagnetic field, or something
Yeah.
else that's causing it to
Well, see,
work.
and I
Things just don't happen to happen. There's always a reason behind it.
well,
And people say things like, "Oh, it's
okay,
magic," or "Oh, it's a spiritual thing." Well,
not magic.
magic is only
Not
you can't explain. That's all magic is. And as
okay.
far as spiritual
So
aspects,
so
those are all scientific based too. So you just can't make something
okay.
happen for no reason. It
I
has to
will.
have a reason.
I'm going to look up. I'm going to look up and find out either if I need to make the dowsing rods or I need to buy the dowsing rods. When I find out that information, then I'm going to get the dowsing rods. Now it's up to you to get the meter.
Okay, well, I've got some dowsing rods for sale along here with a big long rake, and have that'll get gold every time you use it.
Well, I think we're gonna make them. I honestly think they're gonna be made. I don't think there's something I'm gonna go out and buy because if I remember right, the old folks back in the old days, when they were looking for water, and most of them found water with the dowsing rods, they made them.
Well, okay. They made them out of willow switches that they had used to beat their children with. So, yeah.
Yeah, where are you? You wait till I get a hold of you. They have my rods here. They're looking for you.
Yeah, that's why they can find water. Is the little kid needs some to get his blistered butt all soothed and feeling better. He needs comforting.
Yeah. Okay, well, I hate to tell you this, but we gotta go now.
We do.
Yes, I have street tacos to make.
Oh, street tacos, sweet.
I know. It's a Mexican part of my family.
Okay.
So I told Kian because Anthony was leaving today that I would make street tacos for dinner.
Well, that was awful nice of you.
Well, after he helped me with the bed,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a pain trying to flip this mattress over. You only have so much space in an RV in order to do it. And upstairs, there's just hard. You can't do it.
Yeah.
So Kian, I've asked Kian, and Kian is just like, that's too hard. I don't want to do it. So
That
Anthony,
lazy little.
came in. Yeah. And so Anthony came in, and for his trouble, I gave him the purple blanket so he could take it back to his place. And Sean, my whole bed was purple when he came. Not this time, but when I first got it. It was just like.
I didn't even notice.
So,
Was it purple?
yeah. Yeah. So I went down and I bought dark green gray bedding. Looks like this.
Oh,
And
hold on.
purchased,
Looks like what?
looks like this. This color. See?
Oh, it's gray.
This color. Kind of a green gray, dark green goods in the medium section.
Right.
And then today when I was at Costco, I found I don't know if you can see it now. I found a gray blanket to put on it underneath it. So it'll be gray now, Sean.
Then
So,
excess.
we're not black, we're not white, we're gray.
Yeah, anybody that knows us knows this fact. There is no black, there is no white, there is only gray.
It's gray.
It's just gray. That's all it is, just gray.
When I saw it, I was like, yeah, this is perfect. This is the gray area.
Too funny.
We're in a what is it? A non-relationship.
Okay, you're gonna say stuff like that and have to make me explain this over and over and over again. Okay, how many years were we married?
22.
Okay. Now,
He's got those fingers.
I don't have that many fingers. Okay, so we figured out fairly early on that in a lot of ways, uh, most of them, we should not live together. Uh, we get
He's a
along.
collector.
We get along, okay, but Sean is just, I can't even describe myself. Sean is not somebody that needs to be uh in a
Permanently living.
relationship
Uh,
that affects other people. Okay? It's just not a good idea. Okay? I don't know from one day to the next how I'm going to wake up and be doing. Dan can attest to this. I have really bad days, and yeah, they should not be shared. It's not like one of those bags of M&Ms that you should share with other people. There's certain bags of M&Ms that should not be shared with other people because really they're sucky M&Ms. So, yes,
well,
anyway,
okay, like I said, it's time to go.
yeah, so anyway, to wrap up this little discussion that Tan started so nicely, again, making me explain myself. So,
He
yes,
doesn't have to.
I don't have to, but I feel like I have to because I'm a guy, and yeah.
I really
If I
can't
can't if I
understand.
can't explain myself into a hole, what's the point? Really, what's the point of being a guy? Okay, so anyway, to wrap this one up, what it has come down to is um, Tan and I have different lives. She's got her job over on that side of the mountains, and I do my thing over on this side of the mountains. We do our show on the weekends. I come over and see her and Kian once in a while. She's made it over here a couple times. We go mining together. We go and do stuff that has to do with the company.
Anything,
So, you know,
whatever,
it's,
whatever is what you
yeah.
do.
I look at it and see whoever can put it into whatever categories you want, but what it comes down to is Tan's the closest friend that I have. So it's like one of those things to where if you guys want to define it or put it into weird categories, I'm going to tell you exactly what it boils down to. We were married for a long time. We're very familiar to each other. Okay? We're good friends because of it. But put us into a kitchen together and the knives will come out. So, am I
That's on a string,
exaggerating?
man.
Am I exaggerating,
No,
Tan?
no,
Nope, not even a
no,
little
you're
bit.
not. You're not.
Not even a little bit
I,
because
I,
we cannot
I
cook
am
together.
totally. I'm admitting that I am a kitchen Nazi. Okay, I know.
Yep, she is. And see, the weird part about it is I ran restaurants. I was an executive chef, for God's sake. And for someone in a kitchen to tell me that I don't know how to measure stuff, okay, it's time for me to go watch cartoons with the rest of the chidlin at that point, I guess, because, you know, it's like, okay, well, I guess I got told, even though people paid me to do it for a long time.
But you have to understand, Sean, before you ever cooked, before you ever got into the kitchen or anything like that, you freaking burned water.
Yeah,
You
okay,
cannot deny that.
okay. I can't help
We
this. I
have to
got hired.
continue this conversation.
Seriously, this is how I got into the restaurant industry, and this is not even trying to underdo
Yeah,
it,
5 minutes.
overdo it, or anything. I got hired as a cook to cook hamburgers, okay? And in 6 months, I was the restaurant manager. So, um, at that
And
point,
he found out he could cook at that point.
yeah, I found out that I was actually kind of good at it. And since we had a Four Diamond restaurant up above us, I kind of went to their cooks often to learn different little secrets and stuff. And it was not even within 2 years I was actually I could hold up. I could hold my own. I could pretty much cook anything that was put in front of me to cook, and I was doing my own sauces from just taste. So,
And
and
the
yet
thing
I
is
can't
that
measure for some
he
reason. I still can't measure according to her. And I'm not allowed in her kitchen.
it's just it all had to do with vegetables and how he was cutting vegetables. It didn't have to do with him measuring flour and stuff. It had to do with him cutting vegetables. Because when you're cooking something, you want it to cook at a certain time limit, and the vegetables weren't being cut the way that I wanted them cut. It doesn't make any difference. We're now 3 minutes before an hour. But anyway, guys, I'm leaving it that, and he can discuss this with me later. Sorry, I didn't mean to open up a bag of worms. So I love you guys. Take care. Have a good evening. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't even know if anybody was on or if you even can see who's on. So
Oh,
anyway, and Nicole, if you're out there, honey, I hope you're having a better day. I love you, and please take care of yourself. Your turn, Sean.
alrighty, guys. As always, we love each and every one of you. You guys make sure to take care of yourselves and each other. And as always, out of here until tomorrow night, 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Which is weird because I got lectured on how it's not Pacific Standard Time, it's Pacific Daylight Time. I don't care. It's Pacific Time. So, Pacific Time.
Okay, it's Pacific time.
I'm being specific
Okay.
with Pacific. So, anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys. Peace.
Okay. Love you too. Bye.